Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and as you guys can tell from the title of the video, you wish this was clickbait, but it's not clickbait. So let's just get right into it before I just keep talking. And yeah. Alright, so basically did you guys see my okay, basically they're opening a new gym at my like literally down the street from my house. So I decided to apply there and for a supervisor position, right? Okay. All right, so I applied to this like thinking like, okay, they weren't gonna call me, they were just kind of like scan through it. I don't have much supervising experience, but when I worked in fast food, I used to work graveyard, and it would be within like one or two people. Usually the second person would probably be a little bit more new, and then it would be the cook, which they're just the cook. So I would take control and be, I guess, supervisor, and like, you know, make sure that everything's ready and done. So I kind of did have a little bit of a role of being a supervisor, quote unquote. So that's why I did apply. And because, you know, it's a gym, like what the fuck do you need to really supervise except just kind of like tell people what to do? Do you get what I'm saying, guys? Okay. And I know there's more to that, but that's just a brief explanation in my part. So okay, so I applied there, and then 2 days later they got back to me. They sent me an email, and this was on a Thursday night. And I got an email like, you know, like, we're really interested in you and all this stuff, like, here's a link to set up an appointment for your interview. And I was like, okay, like, okay. I was like, whoa. And then my mom was in the kitchen my mom was cleaning the kitchen, so I went over there. I was like, guess what, like, I got a job interview for a supervising position, like, they're gonna pay me this and this and this much. Like, I think this is a great opportunity for me, like, I've been like praying on it. And, you know, we were just kind of like that. Like, if I don't get this job, then it's okay. So that was my mentality. So yeah, so I was like, when should I set up the appointment? Should I set it like tomorrow, after school? Because like, if I do it tomorrow, like, they're gonna see like, oh yeah, she's really interested because we just sent her this email yesterday. Does that make sense? Okay, so yeah, I was like, okay, let's just do it tomorrow. Let's just do it tomorrow. Mind you, this time was about like 10 o'clock, I want to say 10-11 o'clock. Yeah, because my mom had, what else? Okay, I made the appointment, and then yeah, so I made the appointment at 1:30 after school. All right, so, you know, I was just kind of like, just trying to like tell myself, okay, if I don't get the job, like, it's okay, like, God has something way better for me. And yeah, so the next day I went to school. Well, that morning actually, I woke up really early, about 8 o'clock in the morning. I beat my face the fuck up. And I was wearing a crop top, some flary jeans, and some sneakers. Because this is a gym, in my head, I thought like, oh, well, you know, like, I'm trying to look sporty but cute, and didn't think about professionalism. But alright, so I went to school, and then after school I had got out of my class a little bit early, so that way I can just like, head to my interview. And then yeah, I went, I greeted them, and the first thing I noticed was that the two people that were there, they were just so professional. They had suits, dress, like not a mini dress, like a midi dress. And that's the first thing I noticed, but in my head I was like, oh, whatever. I kind of like just like brushed it off, I guess. And then they asked me to sit down, and then I heard them whispering something, but I wasn't sure like if they were talking about me, or like maybe they just speak quietly. Like, I just wasn't thinking about it, so I was just like sitting down there, like, you know, with a smile on my face, like kind of like not on my phone, so that way they can see that I'm not like that B. And yeah, so I'm just kind of like staring at the TV, that is just a slideshow, I guess, whatever. I'm just staring at the TV with the slideshow on it. They finally went to like this one room, like all the way in the back from where I was sitting, and I didn't think anything of it, but I kind of thought they were talking about me. Like, I just thought like they were just like, okay, like, this is what you need to say, like, this is how you're gonna give an interview. And like, I thought that's what they were gonna like tell like the guy that was gonna interview me. And what kind of threw me off a little bit was like, okay, maybe they're just talking shit or something, because like the lady had looked at me and closed the door, like, in my, not in my face, because I was from a distance, but I could see her on like sitting like right across from the door. So she looked at me and she kind of like closed the door, and yeah, like, yeah, and after that I kind of just got like weird vibes, so I was like, okay, whatever. So they were there, and then I kind of was just like looking on my phone, while they were in there, and then I didn't hear them come out, so they apparently came out, and then I kind of like looked up. He was like, oh, like, they said my name. They're like, sorry. She was like, unfortunately, uh, we were just looking over the type of position that you are applying for, and it's a more like professional, higher position. So we do ask for our applicants to dress appropriate and really professional. And when he said that, my fucking heart dropped. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what? You are so right. Like, I was gonna tell him that, like, in an unprofessional way. Like, you are so right. But I just kind of kept it to myself. But I was like, you are so right. Like, this was in my head. Like, you are absolutely 1000% right for the fourth time. Like, what am I doing dressed like this? I have a fucking crop top that has just a little Nike check symbol right there. I had some 90s flared jeans on, and I had some Air Max 97 sneakers on, and my face is beat the fuck up. I have a whole bunch of highlight on my... I'm not even wearing highlighter, and it looks like I'm glowing. Oh. So I have like this whole highlighter, this like exaggerating like sunset makeup on. Like, I'm cute. Like, I'm cute, like, for the fucking club or something. Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you are so right. Why am I dressed like this? And I was like, oh my gosh. I totally understand. Like, I just got out, like, my excuse was like, I just got out of school right now, and he was like, yeah. He was like, how far do you live from here? And I was like, yeah, I just live down the street. I can just go ahead and change and stuff. And he was like, yeah, we could reschedule this appointment at 1:45 if you like. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll go ahead, whatever, change her. So I went in my car, and like, while I was walking there, I felt like so embarrassed. Like, when you feel so embarrassed, like everything around you just gets so hot. Like, you just start getting really hot. Like, that's how I was. Like, my...
I also forgot to mention that once I left to go quote unquote change, I actually never returned because I felt so embarrassed. Like, I was so embarrassed, I didn't even tell my mom about this, and till this day she doesn't know, and I keep lying to her. And yeah, I didn't want to tell her that I got sent home. Like, that's some kid shit.
head was like steaming, and like, I can't believe it. Like, I really went to a job interview like that, and I feel like even if I would have waited, maybe, like, I still would have probably been like that, because I'm not really familiar. Like, when I have applied to jobs and got a job interview, which is only ever two, and those two jobs I've got, one was because my job right now was kind of more of a like kid hipster kind of job, so it was okay for me to dress like that, and I was accustomed to that. And then my first job, Jack in the Box, um, I I remember I was still in high school, so I don't think like the manager that had hired me didn't really care, I guess. Like, he, like, because he already knew me from like relatives and stuff, so that's why I don't think he really mind. But this was actually like my first like job interview for something very professional, and I personally feel like definitely everything happens for a reason, and this was meant to happen. If I were to do it a week later, a couple of days later, um like, I would still make that same mistake. And I definitely feel like this totally happened, because when I do apply now, I know, like, definitely you learn from your mistakes, you live and you learn. Like, now I know if I were to apply to another job, which I have been, and I get an interview, like, I know I'm gonna be dressed all like appropriate, a little bit more less makeup, probably something like this, but like without blush and like eyeshadow and like dramatic lashes, maybe. Or maybe this is mine, I don't know, but no hoop earrings and none of that. Like, like my hair all nice and like professional. Like, I think definitely I learned from that. My son just came in. He is being a menace. So anyways, so yeah, so that's my story time of like how I walked into an interview looking all ratchet. Like, who raised you? Like I always knew that too. Like in high school, they'd be like, yeah, you have to dress professional, you have to be this, you have to be that. But I just never really, I didn't think about it. Like I really didn't. Um, but yeah, so thank you guys for watching my YouTube video. Go ahead and like if you like. Go ahead and subscribe if you like. I'm not forcing you to do nothing. But yeah, and I'm trying to be like staying on top and consistent with my videos. So expect more to be out. And my son is just very okay. This video is long and I hate long videos. Like, look at him. All right, bye guys.